Hello, this is Rachel Ozerbierson for Albany Student Broadcasting. In advance of this evening's Winter Band and Orchestra concert, I'm here with Albany High School Instrumental Music Director Craig Bryant. Mr. Bryant, welcome.
Thank you.
What selections will the audience be hearing this evening?
Tonight, you're going to be hearing a mix of music that spans almost 400 years of music history, from some Vivaldi to some Handel to some modern-day composers like Frank Ticheli and Alfred Reed. You're going to hear music that is somewhat reminiscent or attached to the holiday season, but by and large, I tried to choose repertoire that was best for the students and gave them a good experience this semester.
Great. Can you give us some insight into why these particular pieces were selected?
Sure. One of the most difficult things I do as a music teacher is to try to choose the repertoire that fits my groups, one that's going to let them learn the most during the course of the semester and also feature some strong members in the ensemble. For instance, you're going to hear in the piece called Russian Christmas Music, senior Jennifer Sakawe on alto saxophone with some solos, and I'm really proud of how she sounds, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Great. And are there some solo performances in addition to Jennifer Sakawe's that we should particularly listen for?
Sure. In the string orchestra set, the first group on the concert, you're going to hear a piece by Handel, which is called The Entrance of the Queen of Sheba. It's an overture for an opera he wrote, and it's going to feature two soloists, two violinists, Kevin Yin on violin and Rendella Jones, and they're part of the middle school and high school orchestras that we combine together, so we thought it would be cool to have a soloist from each of the groups.
I hear you will be honoring a couple of people tonight. Can you tell us what that is about?
Sure. We have two really great pieces of news. One is we got a double bass donated by the Ifshin family in Ifshin Violins, which is down in El Cerrito Plaza. And that's something that we've needed for a long time for our school inventory. And not only that, it's a wonderful instrument, and it's getting used in literally every single class every day. So it's the debut concert for the bass tonight. And the other thing that we're doing for the first time is we are going to have a faculty guest conductor, and we're going to have Doug Kagawa. Mr. Kagawa is retiring after 30-plus years of working at AHS as a counselor, and he had a son and daughter that were both in the music program, and I know his son is going to be playing trumpet tonight as well as a few other alumni, so it'll be pretty special.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to the show.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with this evening's Winter Band and Orchestra concert. For Albany Student Broadcasting, this is Rachel Ozerbierson.
Good evening and welcome to our concert. We're delighted to have you here and have a full house and such a warm crowd. The first piece you heard was by Antonio Vivaldi, first movement from Concerto in G major. And our next offering is going to be the Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol. I don't like to program a lot of holiday music, and if you've had kids in the program for a number of years, you probably noticed that, but I choose my things carefully, and this is one of the most beautiful carols that a lot of people aren't really familiar with, but it has beautiful moving lines in the second violin and viola part, and I think you'll enjoy it. This is Percy Granger's Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol. While we rotate some players for the next piece, I want to take this opportunity to thank someone who comes and volunteers with us once a week, Mr. Frank Bliss. Is a familiar name to many of us in the Albany Music Fund community, and I just want to say thank you, Frank, for all of your work. He's here every Friday. Thank you. Bravo. You might notice that we have a mixed orchestra. Both Albany Middle School and Albany High School students are represented here. And that was a design that we started last year, and I really enjoy working with both groups of students. But it's really nice to see the friendships that exist between the kids, and especially as some of them start to move up to the high school starting this year. So in that way, we're going to feature a soloist from each school today, from the high school, Kevin Yin, and from the middle school, Rendella Jones, who incidentally, the computer ate my A in the program. If you look, it says Rendell, two L's. I'm sorry about that, I apologize. And she also got listed twice in the program, so maybe that makes up for it, I'm not really sure. But They're going to play a piece for solo violin, originally for 2 solo oboes by Handel, but in this arrangement we've adapted. At this time, we're going to welcome to the stage AMF board member Debbie Carton.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg. I'd like to introduce you all to the newest member of the Albany Unified School District. It's a string bass. Would you hold it forth, please, so that we can all see? When I first joined the Albany Music Fund about 3 years ago, I remember we all went around the table and we asked the teachers what were their dreams, what was on their wish list, what did they really, really want for their departments. And when we got to Mr. Bryant, he said, I really wish we had a decent bass. And now we do. And this bass comes to us from the Ifshin family, and they are here tonight for us to acknowledge and thank them. So yes, we are incredibly grateful to Jay and Leslie Ifshin for the donation of this beautiful new string bass to the Albany Unified School District. Last night it had its jazz debut, tonight it has its classical debut, and it will be making beautiful music here for many, many years to come, and delighting bass players who previously had been struggling with less than. lovely instruments. Anyway, we're really proud and happy to have the Ifshins here tonight, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this wonderful donation. Many of you in this audience have no doubt been to the new-ish Ifshin Violin store right by El Cerrito Plaza, and you may have wondered a little bit about the man that put this shop together and how he came to this place. If you would like to know more about Jay Ifshin and his journey as a violin maker and what he's given to the Albany Music Fund and to the Albany Unified School District, which is a lot more than a bass, I have to tell you, just go to the Albany Music Fund's website at www.albanymusic.org, and our feature this month, Albany Music Fund Thanks, is devoted to Jay Ifshin and Ifshin Violins. So you can read all about Jay in the online newsletter, and I hope you will. So that leads me to a question for all of you. Is there a gently used but currently unused instrument in your home? Maybe that a child started but no longer plays. Maybe you picked up a clarinet at Costco before they realized that the violin was really their destiny. Is there an instrument at home that isn't being used that maybe could be used by another child in the school district? If so, please talk to a music teacher. They would most likely be delighted to have more instruments to loan to our students. And that leads me to the giving part. I understand it's absolutely amazing that we have this incredible gift of a string bass, and most of us can't make that kind of donation. But there are many ways that we can all give, and not all of them are financial. For one thing, there's a way to volunteer with the Albany Music Fund. If you can help chaperone at a music festival, if you can help out by passing out programs, by helping with a bake sale, there are many, many ways that you can help us and help your children. And just take a look at the website again, and you can find out how you can volunteer. There is, of course, always the option of cold hard cash, the ever popular and ever useful gift, and we have many ways of taking it from you. And one is, of course, the ever-present box. You'll find myself and my mom at the doors as you're leaving. Please don't feel obligated. We understand. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. If you can, and tonight you can, we'd be delighted to have your donations. Always happy. You can also donate on the website. There's a way to do that online with your credit card. There's even a newfangled way to get your credit card zapped once a month rather than shelling out a whole bunch at one time, which for many people is a more viable option. And I hope that everyone has received the direct appeal letter that went out earlier this year. At any rate, the reason that Albany Music Fund is here is because it's not just me, it's not just you, it's all of us. If you have a child in a music program, you and your child and your family are the Albany Music Fund. Last year, we gave $65,000 to the Albany Unified School District to keep our music programs alive. That's thanks to all of you. And we can do it again. So please, think of us, give as much as you can, whenever you can, and remember that there are many ways to give. Thank you for your time, and another special thank you to the Ifshin family.
Thank you, Debbie, and I want to echo our thanks to the Ifshins. Since we got the bass, it's played 5 periods, out of 7 every day. I just teach 5 periods, and so it has received hours and hours of use already, and we are eternally grateful. Our last piece on this part of the program, we'll take a short intermission while we reset the stage, is the first movement from John Rutter's Suite for Strings. Many of you know John Rutter's music most predominantly for choir. He's a British composer. He was commissioned to write a piece at the wedding of William and Kate. And I always love his music. It uses British folk songs, which is kind of a linking a lot of the material tonight in the music. And it's called A Roving, the first movement from Rutter's Suite for Strings. we'll be right back in about 5-6 minutes. Thank you. very much. Our next piece is by a composer named Frank Ticheli. Frank is on the faculty at USC, and one of the most amazing musicians I've ever been around. I got to play for him in college one time, and then last year he was a conductor at the Chabot Wind Symphony, which is a community wind ensemble that I play with on Wednesday nights. And it was one of those experiences, like when you get in front of a conductor, he has the freedom to do and make the ensemble do whatever he wants, and everybody's willing to do it. And it was so satisfying musically to play for him. And his writing is very honest, in the way he approaches life and music making and writing is the same way. He's a very inspirational person. He's taking familiar melodies, in particular the last movement everyone will recognize. Copeland used it in his Appalachian Spring Simple Gifts, but he's adapted them for young concert band, and you'll hear a great deal of different timbres and colors. You'll hear a lot of upper woodwind and metallic percussion, and then you'll flip it and you'll have a lot of low reeds and brass, and he's really done a really nice job of exploiting all the colors that are available to the wind band. So this is in 4 movements. This is Frank Ticheli's Simple Gifts. I am so proud of all the soloists in this band. To give a freshman and or sophomore a solo is like, sometimes they're not ready to do that, and they kind of shake their head. And I am so proud, like there's so many kids in this band that are willing to take on that task, and I'm so proud of their work. Thank you, guys. Our last piece for this set is by Robert Sheldon. It is also a trilogy of British folk songs. It's called West Highland Sojourn. Sorry, blank there for just a second. West Highland Sojourn. Fast, Slow, Fast, and then we'll take a brief intermission. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Thank you, thank you. The next two pieces you're going to hear are probably my two favorite on the program. The carol, Lo How Rose, everybody probably heard that before, but what you maybe haven't heard is this chorale prelude that Johannes Brahms did some 250 years later almost. And he took the theme of the carol and kind of morphed it. It's originally composed for organ, and this is transcribed for band by Frederick Fennell and John Boyd. And this is, you'll hear the carol first, just very quickly, and then you'll hear the second, the Brahms interpretation of the chorale prelude, Opus 122, Lo How Rose. The next piece we're going to play for you is a very programmatic selection. It is called Russian Christmas music, but you won't recognize, it's not like elves and reindeer and that sort of nonsense. It's based on the tradition of the Russian Orthodox Church, and all I can tell you is to sort of close your eyes, imagine that you were in some time portal and somebody dropped you off in the middle of a Russian village, and you hear the church chimes, you know sort of where you are, but not really, and you hear some chanting, you hear some familiar sounds of brass and woodwind instruments, but I think you'll really enjoy it. There's a myriad of scenes in this. It's not spelled out what they are, but I hear them, and I know the students do too. This is Alfred Reed, Alfred Reed's work, Russian Christmas Music. Feature very prominently Jennifer Sakawe on the alto saxophone. Thank you. If you are an alumni and you came to play your horn on Sleigh Ride, would you guys come on up here? We're just going to get cozy and just squish in. There's not a lot of room. A couple of thank yous. Thank you to all the parents who volunteered to help with the reception. Thank you to my wife for all of your help. Thank you to the staff, my colleague Mary, who's here tonight. And I'm not sure if Ted Foreman from the middle school is here. Thank you, and thank you, guys, for giving me a great place to work. And most especially, thank you to these wonderful students that you see here and to you wonderful parents. Thank you. You may have noticed that tonight's concert is being videoed for Albany TV and for the school website. I encourage you to share the link. It'll be up in a few days. Send it far and wide via Facebook and email to everybody so they can see what's going on here in good old Albany. Thank you to Mr. Purdom and Mr. Castle for their tireless work, and also this entire broadcast crew and also the Sound and Light crews who have been working so hard this month. They're doing so much stuff, and we are so proud to have you guys filming our stuff here tonight. Thank you, crews. We're starting a new tradition. Come on, just get on in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to just go? Yeah, just go. You're not tall or anything. Go on over there. Okay. Yeah, just come on in. Share seats. Get cozy. So we're starting a tradition, alumni, and we're going to have a guest conductor. The person as a guest conductor is one of the very first people I met at Albany High School. And he said, my son played the trumpet, and we figured out that we knew a bunch of people. And Doug Kagawa just taught me so much about Albany. I worked with him on IIC a couple times. I've worked with him. He gets all my kids' schedules fixed. I'm sorry if you don't have him as a counselor and he's leaving, but it's like he would hook it up every time. And he would also do this thing where he would come in and he would say, I got a new guy for you. And I'd say, do they play? He says, I don't know, but they're coming for an audition. And invariably, every single time I'd say, the kid would come in, they get their clarinet or flute out or whatever, and they start to play some notes or whatever. And I said, okay, let me hear your scales. And they just go just ripping through it. I was like, he always found me the hidden talent at Albany High School, and I'm always appreciative of that. He's someone that cares an incredible amount about this community. We're not losing him. He's just moving on to a different phase, and I certainly will miss the professional working relationship. He is a true gentleman. And that's hard to come by these days, and somebody I really respect. Would you guys put your hands together for the first ever faculty guest conductor? This guy came in, it was trick conducting. He was directing behind the back. He was calling people out on. He said, trumpets, no, it's going to be late. Sleigh bells, you're dragging. It was unbelievable. Put your hands together for Mr. Doug Kagawa.